Welcome to our morning live stream. My name is Elsa Kepi, and I'm a curator of the Facebook group Women Healing from Emotional Abuse with Power, Passion, and Pleasure. We also have a YouTube channel here where I'm streaming live for the first time, so hopefully this is working. So if you are watching, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can see me live. So today I actually wanted to touch in on a topic that comes up regularly when I talk to women and clients of mine or potential clients, people that are interested in working on themselves. And this is that we love the drama. And we love drama. When you look at all the TV shows that are famous now, the ones that are doing well, they're all about drama. They're all about he said, she said, what's happening? How can I make this into a bigger problem than it is and get more attention on myself and all of the things? And we find it fascinating. And I do too. I love drama. I was a drama queen without even realizing it in my former years. I am a recovering drama addict, and I thought it would be helpful to really kind of dive into, what is that? How does that manifest in our life? Because if we are addicted to anything really, but if we are addicted to drama, it's like we seek out excitement in a way that takes us off track. It takes us off going for our goals. It takes us off being grounded for our kids. It takes us away from focusing on where we want to move forward in our life. It takes us off of meeting people and actually getting to know other people. I would say it actually is a bit of a barrier towards any kind of intimate connection with anyone. So these are a lot of things. And when you look at that, you start asking yourself, is it really worth it? Like, do I actually get what I really want from the excitement of being in the middle of drama? Or am I actually seeking something else? And I spoke to a woman yesterday, and it kind of, spurred me on to do this live with you all today because she was exhausted. And I was exhausted, a decade or so ago when I finally realized, like, I'm tired. I'm tired of this whirlwind of, a problem comes up and I flurry around and I fix the problem or I help, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then as soon as I'm done that, it's like something else comes up, because as soon as I sit down quietly with myself, I'm like, something needs to happen. I'm bored. I'm anxious. I don't know what to do. It's like the shark music is playing in the background, like the da-na, 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 in those scary movies. And that's what my nervous system was doing. It was not used to being in a place of, calmness. And so it felt anxiety provoking to me. It felt traumatic. And so I would keep creating situations where I was so overwhelmed with busyness and jobs and fixing things and helping people and solving problems that I didn't have to sit there and hear that music going along in the background. And I've heard someone describe it as well, which I thought was really a great way of talking about it, as a cheetah or a panther kind of pacing up and down. It feels like they're in your head. There's this like pacing. There's like something needs to happen so that I can get focused. And it's interesting because my partner now, who is a wonderful partner, actually is really into martial arts. And, he said one of those things that really is awesome about learning, sword fighting or some kind of martial art is that there's this danger. There's this like, you need to focus right now, right here, or you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're going to die. And so it brings in and narrows your focus so that you can really concentrate on something. In a way, that's kind of what drama does to some of us that have been addicts of drama, is that when that drama situation is up, it's all consuming. It's all consuming. Like, all we think about is that situation. We want to, what can we do? What is that person feeling? How can we fix it? What do they want? all of the things. And it focuses our attention really well. And so, for those of us that have difficulty actually just sitting with and coming up with an intention and moving forward methodically with this, it's addictive. And I would say that, it appeals to those of us that are a bit ADHD, that are a bit scattered in our thinking, that are creative minded. We're good at lots of things. We actually are bored much of the time with, methodically kind of plodding through life. And we want to have something really exciting to work on, so that we can focus, because that feels good when we're in flow, when we're in focus. But here's the thing that doesn't feel good about drama is that it's not actually helping us move anywhere in any kind of way towards our own personal goals, our own personal life journey toward feeling gratitude, joy, peacefulness, intimacy, good relationships, because we're so busy focusing on these like life or death, I put in quotation marks, kind of things, situations, that we can't actually be present to anything kind of deeper and calmer in our life. And so it's exhausting because it's keeping our nervous system on high alert all the time. And so we burn out and we're exhausted, and it's not really getting us fulfillment, because fulfillment comes from this other experience of savoring, of slowing down, of really feeling into a good feeling. And some of you may be listening to that going, what the hell is that? So if you're one of those like, oh my God, I need to do this, I need la la la, and you're sort of addicted to that busyness and drama, then it's going to feel weird to talk about what would it feel like to just that yumminess of just sitting there feeling good. And I take a pause there because that's hard for some of us to do. So we have to practice. We have to practice doing that. And it takes some real dedication to work our way back to this place of peacefulness, this place of joy. But the most common thing that women tell me they want a sense of peace, they want joy in their life, they want to be able to enjoy their relationships, they want to be able to help other people. All of those intentions cannot happen if you're in a whirlwind over here doing drama. It just won't happen. You can't help someone, really help them, when you're off center. You can't really help someone when you're like scattered all over the place and running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You can't. It doesn't, you can maybe seem like you're getting a lot done, but if you've ever gone, if you've ever been ill or something, and if someone just sits with you and holds your hand, that's healing. If someone comes in and says, okay, we're going to do this, then we're going to try that, then we're going to give you this medicine, like you just feel unsettled. It's the same idea. We can't really move forward. We can't really feel good in ourselves without exploring this opposite nervous system place, this relaxed, savoring, down-regulated nervous system place. And many of us don't know how to get there. And I talk about the nervous system because it's important to acknowledge that this is a learning. If we have learned to pitch our nervous system at a fight or flight place, and this is our go-to, then we may not have the resources. We may not know how to stay in a more calm state, a more even down-regulated state, because we have never actually felt safe enough to stay there. And so, part of this learning is to create a safe enough space for ourselves, for our own psyche, and to learn to stay in this down-regulated state long enough to actually feel the true joy feeling, that true pleasure feeling. You could describe it as that after a really good orgasm, if you want, when you're just, nothing else matters, it's calm, you're just still, everything's kind of buzzing, but it's like this chilled out kind of sort of feeling. And many of us don't even get there during like intimate relationships. So we actually have to practice that. And that's one of the ways that I personally practiced and learned how to get to this nervous system state, was learning how to savor pleasure in my body. And so to even understand how to feel pleasure, to understand how to be with ourselves, is one of the biggest gifts we can give ourselves, and how we switch our nervous system from being in this fight or flight, anxiety, drama filled place, to being in this calm, grounded, and it doesn't have to be boring. So here's the thing that many of you actually say to me. You're like, well, if I finally met someone that was really grounded and healthy, and I was just sitting, holding their hand, I wouldn't know what to do. I would feel bored. It wouldn't feel right. There's nothing happening. And that's the thing, is we actually have to learn this in our own body. We have to practice this. Otherwise, whenever we run into a healthier, grounded, more calm person influence in our life, we're going to walk away from them because we don't know what to do. We don't know how to be with that. So we need to learn how to do it in our own self. And then we can actually call in these types of relationships that actually feel really good. Like, how would it feel to go to bed every night knowing your partner was there next to you, loving you, that you're going to wake up together, you're going to have a great breakfast, and the sun is going to shine, you're going to enjoy it together, you're going to smile, you're going to do your things, you're just going to have this knowing in your entire being that this person is there for you, and that you're there for them. Like, that's it sounds simple, but it's an amazing feeling. It's an incredible feeling. And we won't get there with the highs and lows of a drama filled, does he, doesn't he, does he like me, does he not, does she want to spend time with me, does she not, like, why did they do this mean thing, like, are they, they're trying to sleep with me, they're not, like, this is all the drama and anxiety that keeps us all amped up and actually away from true intimacy. So, I just wanted to kind of bring up this topic of drama as being a bit of a distraction, as well as a potentially a coping strategy to help us keep going. Because sometimes when we start to come down out of that fight or flight nervous system, we actually realize that we've been sad for a long time, that we've been grieving for a long time, that we've been angry for a long time, that we have these emotions that we haven't dealt with. And that can feel like a spiral into depression or a spiral into dark places. And we don't want to go there. So we keep the drama going and the distraction so we don't go there. And this is where having someone work with you, this is what I do with my clients, to stay with your body and to notice. We're not just trying to notice all the grief just to be overwhelmed by it. We're going to notice what we feel so that we can actually start feeling pleasure, so that we can actually start feeling that embodied sense of, okay, everything could be all right with me and the world and my family. It could be okay. And we start relaxing into that. And that comes with really acknowledging your feelings. And maybe it comes with days, weeks, hours of grieving, but the grieving can be sweet. And I say that, not in a cliche way. It can be a grieving of something, but in a way that we know we've experienced something. We've been alive to have that. I think in The Little Prince, the fox describes the friendship, this close relationship with the prince, and and the fox, they end up having to split and go their separate ways. And the prince is like, well, it wasn't worth it having this friendship because now you're sad that I'm leaving. And the fox was crying. And the fox said, but no, because now whenever I look at the beautiful wheat field, it reminds me of the color of your hair. And I have, again, that beautiful feeling of remembering a good time with you, remembering you. And that's a sweet, poignant feeling. And it really is about being truly alive, to have this like pleasure, pain, poignant longing with fulfillment, all of it. We want all of it. if you don't want to feel any of it and you want to live in the drama, no judgment, it keeps you away, it keeps you distracted, but it's not going to ever feel, you're never going to find that place where you can sit with yourself, that place where you can feel joy and peace and pleasure and true love and intimacy. You're never going to find that in the drama. And so, are you wanting to take the steps towards learning how to downregulate your nervous system, learning how to live with that? That doesn't mean we never have an adrenaline rush. Doesn't mean you can't do something crazy now and then, but you know how to come back down out of that, and you know how to sit with your feelings. And this is something that the work that I do helps people with. This somatic piece, we call it soma. We're dealing with the body mind integration. And I actually call it sacred somatics because it's sacred. It's about being our highest self, our spiritual connected self, where we are integrated. We can be in a body, we can have all of these feelings, we can sit with it, we can hold ourselves sacred in that way. So hopefully this gives you a little kind of talk around the idea of this drama. And if you find that you are kind of addicted to drama, this was a revelation to me. I only realized it because a good friend of mine sat me down one day and said, wow, you're a bit of a drama queen. You always have so much drama in your life. And what I realized was it was pushing him away. It was pushing my friend away. And he didn't want to spend time with me because it was exhausting for him. And so I was like, oh, I thought it was kind of exciting and I wanted to kind of rev him up into my world, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to be in this calmer place. And when I realized that, I really started taking a look at that addiction that I had to being dramatic, to having the most craziness in my life, to being able to deal with it. Like, it was partly my ego of yeah, I can have all these crazy things going on and still, be a mom and do the things, right? But it's really not something I now want to live in. I don't want to have my pride and my ego tied up in being able to cope with loads of drama. I want to have know myself, that I can actually sit, and just be present. And that allows me to actually be present with other people in a way deeper way. And now I have a partner that reflects that back to me. And like I said, it's an incredible feeling just having that ability to sit with someone, to sit with ourselves. So if this resonates at all for you, I have a couple of ways you can get in touch with me. I've put in the comment section, ailsakepi.com. You can start there. That will take you to all the different pieces of my world. Please have a look, watch my free webinar. Join me in the Facebook group, Women Healing from Emotional Abuse with Power, Passion, and Pleasure. Join me here on YouTube, and let's see what our next step in the journey together could be. There's a number of ways you can work with me. You can book a call, we can chat, and I would love to hear how this resonated with you, this idea of being addicted to drama, and how does that play out for you? And are you ready to be in a peaceful place? Are you ready to be in a joyful intimacy? And if so, reach out to me. I would love to chat with you. I would love to work with you and, help you get into your body in this new way. So blessings on your day, and I will hopefully hear from you soon.